Hey, Cheryl. Oops, let me get out of that. I'm doing good. I'm taping this on my phone and it's at a really weird angle. Alexa, turn it down. Oops, I think it turned it up. Alexa, turn it down. So my phone at a really weird angle to try to read comments, but the best way I could do this. Alexa, turn it up. She's not listening. Alexa, turn it up. Alexa, volume 2. Alexa's not listening. Hi, Jeannie. Alexa, volume 2. Not turning up. I think it thinks I'm talking to the one in the bedroom. Hold on a second. Alexa, play Christmas music. I'm having trouble with my system here. Started playing it in the kitchen instead of the living room where I am. No. Alexa, play WJBR. This is live, guys. Hi, Marie. Volume is good on my end. Yeah, I'm trying to actually get the volume going on my Amazon Dot. So we have some music. But it went to the, when I told Alexa to play, it went to my kitchen instead of my living room. I've been working on this a couple days. It's gonna take a while. Show you guys what it looks like. It's really pretty. There. What the front looks like. So that's how much I have done. This is the pattern. It's 2 old crows. I didn't know if anybody would want to watch me punch. So I figured I would just put it on. See if anybody came. When I have something big like this, I like to split it into sections. So like right now, I just cut this off and I'm going to do this little section and then I'll move on to another section. Kind of helps me feel like I accomplished something when I finish an area and it's something that's so big. I'm using Valdani for this. This is Valdani Pearl Cotton P4, the color I'm using. And I'm doing it, it's a number 12 thickness, so I have it doubled. Even when I use number 8, I usually double it. I just like to get the better coverage. It's really weird because I told the lady on the Amazon dot, I won't say her name, the Alexa, to play Christmas music, and it played it in my kitchen. It's playing in my kitchen. But the one in the living room said that it was some kind of Prime thing that you had to pay for. And did I want to pay for it? It's kind of weird what it picks up, but I don't want to get up out of the chair because the camera, my phone is on a little tiny tripod sitting on the arm of my recliner. So I don't want to get up and mess with that. You see, Sean, hello. It's a big piece, but I love how punch needle is faster than cross stitch. Punching a section at a time does give you a sense of accomplishment. Absolutely. It does me anyway. It's like crossing something off your list. One problem I have is this pattern is bigger than what my frame is allowing because it's a circle. So, do you see there? Right here. And at the top, if you can see here, the circle goes beyond the frame. It's going to go down. So, I'm going to have to take it off of this. I'm doing all the area that I can on this frame. And then I'm going to take it off of this one and put it on a smaller one. And I'll have to actually have some of the punched area being over the gripper strips. I think I've only done that once before, but they said to use the saran wrap, and I can't think of the name of it, but there's something that you put that wrap over it and it kind of protects the punched area. This is a gripper frame. It is not a Q-snap. A Q-snap, it does not work for punch needle embroidery. This has to be drum tight, and a Q-snap won't do that. So I'll show you one that I'm not using so you can see what it looks like. Wow, it collected dog hair. it's got dog hair on it. It's down on the floor. Anyway, this is what I'm using. This is a gripper frame. You can see it. It has little tiny, it has dog hair. My dog sheds really bad, but it has teeth. Can you see them here? And that grips the fabric and holds it really tight. So somebody asked me to do a video of the supplies that I use, and I'll be showing that. Let me go back and read the comments here. It's going to be turned into a wreath. I see the circle in the middle. It's a mini tree skirt. Yeah, the gripper frame, I made my own. I just bought the frames at a consignment shop. Okay. It's hard for me. I have to kind of lean forward to see the phone is at a really weird angle. This is the pattern. It is, I'm doing it as a shop sample for a store, the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, Arkansas. And she hires me to do some samples for her. So it's going to be on a mini tree will be around it in the center of it. So this gets actually cut like a 1/4 inch in, and then down this line right here, the center line, it'll get cut, and then that leaves a 1/4 inch that will be folded back. And here they'll cut like a 1/4 inch in. I won't do that part. I only do the punching. I don't do the finishing. And then they'll turn like a 1/4 inch here, and it'll get turned back. So another thing I wanted to talk about that I'm using this as an example. When you draw your circle, you trace your pattern, and then once you get it on a gripper frame, it gets distorted. So you can see, let's see if you can see it right here. You see how this part is thinner than this part. So what I did is traced around a dinner plate, a perfect circle, and then I'm just going to do rows around until I get out to like to here, like a 1/4 inch out. And then I'll have a circle. I may find a circle, something I can trace that's big enough to go around that, but that's kind of what I'm experimenting with. Very good for you. I purchased mine and it was pricey. I had a 9x9 custom one made also. Yeah, I make my own because some people say cheap, some people say frugal. I'm trying to decide where I'm going to do next. I think I'm going to do this area, but I'm going to block off this section. So I think with shipping, the gripper strip, 40 inches of it, with shipping was $27. And then the frames, I get like 50 cents, 75 cents, $1, depending on the size. There's stretcher bars, and I get them at a local thrift store. It's like a thrift store for crafters. It's all craft supplies. The Ultra Punch needle, yeah. I've had this Ultra Punch needle so long that like the words are worn off. And I sell them in my Etsy shop. I also sell, if you get the punch needle in my Etsy shop, it's $26, and I include a piece of weaver's cloth. I think it's 12 by 15 to get it started. That comes with it. And I also sell weaver's cloth by the yard, but I'm sold out right now. I'm waiting on a shipment. Get some more. Trying to mess with my thread here. I have to get in between these little branches. So if you can see right here, I'm at the end of that one, and I'm going to move over to the next one, and I'm just going to jump over that one thickness line there and just go over to the next one. I'm not going to cut my thread and all that and start over. I just jump it. And some people say not to do that. I do it if it's a short, that's only 2 thread thickness there, so I do it. you tell us how much weaver's cloth is by the yard? It's $8 a yard. Frugal is what I am, but I don't have a way now that I live with my daughter and son-in-law. I think I might have missed something there. Hold on, let me go back. Yeah, anything to delay threading. Well, you don't have to rethread it when you jump over. You just cut it and start a new section. You only have to rethread if you change color or your ball runs out of thread, which is why I like to use the Valdani. One of the reasons. The other is the color. Colors are awesome. Like you can see the variegation in that. It's not all one solid color. My weaver's cloth is $8 a yard and $5 for half a yard. But as I said, I am sold out right now. I'm waiting on the distributor, and they're waiting on it from their source, and then they have to ship it to me. So I think I might get some from someone else to hold me over in the meantime. That's why I didn't make my own. I'm happy you did make yours. Yeah. I missed something. Why didn't you make your own? I'm going to do a video actually of me making one. There are other videos out there. But just because I'm looking for ideas for videos, I thought that's one that I could do. To show how you make the frame. And another video I'm going to do is these cover that I have on the gripper strips, because this keeps you from getting poked. These are actually steering wheel covers from Dollar Tree. So you have to take two and open them up and make it into one. So I'm going to be doing a video on that too. Show you how to do that. Alexa, turn it up. Marie, what are you saying? That's why you didn't make your own. Are you talking about the frame? Can you guys hear the music? It's easier to buy it since I live with my daughter, yes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it cost me less than $30. $27 for the gripper strip. And no more than $1 for the frame. So it's like $28. And I do have the two different sizes, so for smaller patterns, I use the other one. Much more affordable to make it, yeah. Cannot hear the music, okay. Sometimes you get a copyright strike if they can hear the music. So I'm going to turn the volume off for just a second because I'm going to have to yell to the Echo Dot so that I can turn off the one in the kitchen. I'm going to turn the mic off a second. Okay, I got it. I had two different things playing and it was really annoying. But I had to yell to the kitchen one so that it would shut off. Okay, yeah, you can see this piece right here is where it gets cut. If you don't want to do that, you could do it as a candle mat and you would just punch all of this in. If I miss anything in the chat, I'm sorry. It's just the phone is on a tripod on the arm of my recliner and it's facing down to my lap area, so it's kind of hard to see. Do you back it with felt or fusible fleece? I don't know what they're going to do. I don't do the finishing. I just do the punching and then I send it back to her. She sends me all the supplies. So I don't know what she's going to put on the back of it. Let me see if it says on here. Piece of wool is what they used. A 10-inch piece of wool, cut the backing piece the same size as the front. And then they blanket stitched a piece of wool around it. So that's pretty easy. So you turn back your weaver's cloth to the back and then you lay it on top of the piece of wool and blanket stitch it. That's really easy. So on Teresa Kogut's live today, I was saying that when you have something big, you kind of get tired of it and you want to get it finished so that you can move on to the next one. I kind of like the sweet spot is maybe like a 4x6, 5x7 tops. This is a large project. And it seems larger because there's so much background. If you're doing all different little colors and different designs within it, it doesn't seem like it takes that long, but when you have a lot of one color like this background, it just seems like it takes longer. Even though it may not actually be any bigger. It's just you're working on the same color over and over. So did you guys enter the giveaway? Did you comment on the giveaway video? The drawing will be Sunday. You just need to subscribe and leave a comment telling me what you would like to win. Fingers crossed, Sean. Yeah. I was thinking that the hoop, it's a really big hoop, but it would be good for cross stitching too. So if somebody was checking out my channel and they don't do punch needle, but they do cross stitch, they could use that hoop. Commented, but I didn't have a need to enter. Thank you all the same. I do that, Marie. I do that sometimes on Teresa's. Love Teresa Kogut designs and the pumpkin lady. Yeah, I do that sometimes when Teresa has a giveaway and it's a cross stitch pattern, so I don't want it because I don't do cross stitch. I just leave a comment about something else, you know, about something that she talked about in the video. When you leave a comment, it helps the YouTube channel because YouTube will recommend that video out to people if it's got a lot of interaction and the comments are interaction. So anytime that you watch a video on YouTube, it's always good to leave a comment, even if you just say good morning or liked your video or just say something about it, because then YouTube will recommend that video out to more people because they see that it has interaction. So that's important when you watch a video. I was looking at Teresa's video yesterday and it had like 1,500 views, but I think like 100 and some comments. It also lets us know what you liked about the video, or you know, what you like about what we're working on if you leave a comment. So I always try to find something to say in the comments. Kind of like saying, hey, I was here, I support you, I like your channel. Doesn't have to be long. You cross stitch, punch needle, road cut, crochet, sew, and machine knit. Wow, you're busy. Way too many crafts. Love them all. I did rug hooking before. Probably the only thing I do rug hooking now is the center of Prati flowers. I found rug hooking to be very expensive, and I didn't like the look of it as much as I like the punch needle. I have a couple rug hooking things. I'm looking around to see if there's anything I could show you. Now, if you look at my video that's like what to do with your punch needle when you're finished it, like the finishing video, where I show the different ways that things you can mount them on, you'll see a little rug hooking I did. I put it on a washboard. That was just a small piece. That you are punching live. Please do more. I will what? VMR. I don't know what that is. I wasn't sure if anybody would want to watch me do a punch needle. I think this is better though than me just recording it, because this way you can ask questions or we can chat instead of me just recording it. It's kind of boring. You always get like, I'm almost done, I'm almost there. See, I only have a little area left. You can see. Well, you can't see. Hold on. Everything's opposite on the phone. Yeah, so I'm almost done that section. The end is near. Oh, you will come. Okay, I get it. Thank you. Yeah, you have to watch the video that I'm not even sure what the title of it is, but it's about finishing punch needle and what you do with it after you're done. And I show lots of things that I've made and what I mounted them on. And even though the washboard wasn't punch needle, I just wanted to show an idea, because you could do the same thing with a punch needle design. That pulled out when I lifted it up. Just after Lex. Older meow mix. Meow. Do you get the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine? There are great patterns in every issue. Yes, I do get that magazine, but my subscription just ran out. And I wasn't sure if I was going to renew it, because I wasn't doing any punching for a long time. So there's the progress. It's getting there. The fall issue was my last issue. So I think I'm going to hold off before I renew, because I just have so many patterns that I haven't done yet that I want to do. But I stopped, and if in the giveaway video I explained why. I had no desire whatsoever to do it for months. And now I'm back at it, so now I need to do all the patterns that I already have. I can move this a little closer. I've done a little of a Morgan hoop, but it keeps getting loose. Yeah, I'm done. I'm punching on number 1, Sean. Thank you, Kathy. I used a Morgan hoop for years and years and recommended them and everything. I don't use it anymore. I use them if I'm teaching a class because the students are using them just because of the expense of the gripper frames. So if I'm teaching a class, they use the hoop, and I have a real tiny one, like a 4 or 5 inch one that I put a little piece of fabric in just to demonstrate. That's pretty much the only time I use one anymore because this is so much better. I think I would like to make what you are working on. I agree, the gripper frames are the best, made a huge difference in my punching. Yeah, if you want to make this piece, it is $12.50 at the Shepherd's Needle online. And this is the pattern. Let me see. 2 old crows. Everything's the opposite here. And it's called Ribbons and Holly. The Shepherd's Needle is on Facebook, and they have a website also. You can order it online. When I stop, it's because I'm reading the comments. Jump. You're welcome, Pat. Okay, so I'm over here. You can see I'm here and I need to get to here. So I'm going to hold my finger down, lift up, and just leave that tail there and start. You can see that. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. Opposite. Let's see. There. Okay. Anyway, instead of, it's hard to tell if you can see it or not. Instead of cutting it and then starting a new place, I just hold it down and I make that little loop right there. See? And then I'm going to snip it so I don't pull it out. I guess it doesn't really save you any work because you're snipping it anyway. That's just the way I do it. It does risk that you pull it out, so you have to be careful. I guess it's not something I would tell a beginner to do. But as you do this for a while, you start taking shortcuts, like I'm sure you do in cross stitch too. Maybe, maybe not. Sorry about that. My alarm went off because I have to put an eye drop in. So I'm going to pause for a second and put my eye drop in. I have a tear on my cornea. I have to put these little drops. Every 2 hours, I have to put a drop in my eye. And I set my alarm so that I don't forget. I just realized I didn't have my other light on. There, is that better? I didn't even realize I didn't have that on. Move this back a little bit. How long have I been punching? Gosh. Maybe 6 years. No, longer than that. Hold on, let me think. I probably learned around, yeah, much longer than that. I probably learned around 2003 or 4, sometime around there. And I learned by a shop demonstration at the Pattern Hutch in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Take some shortcuts. I've been punching and cross stitching and wherever there's an opportunity, yeah. I went into the Pattern Hutch in Pigeon Forge one day and there was a lady named Linda Brown who is on the Punch Needle groups on Facebook. And she was working there and she was doing demonstrations if you wanted to learn. So she gave me like a 20-minute lesson. And I bought a pattern. I think it was a threads that bind pattern. And then I went home and just kept doing it. So that was my only like formal teaching, if you want to call it that. And they still do that at the Pattern Hutch because I was there actually a few weeks ago. I was on a trip with my little camper and I went into the Pattern Hutch, and when I went in, the owner, Cindy, was showing somebody how to do it. She keeps a hoop there with a project in it, and then if you want to learn, she'll show you. And it's free. But if you want to take an actual class, that would cost money, but they will show you how to do it. We have 9 people watching. Y'all don't find this boring? If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I'll try to answer. I see that I messed up a section right there. I had a loop, so I just pulled it back out. See, you can do that when you mess up. And then you just pull your thread, go back down and do it over. This project, I think I started it the night before last night. Or maybe yesterday, I'm not really sure. It was either yesterday or the day before. I was doing, she sent me 4 patterns to do. This is the last one because it's the biggest, most time-consuming one, and I procrastinated and put it off till the end. It's not hard to do, it just takes longer because it's bigger. I taught myself to punch needle in 1979 at a flea market, and some ladies were there selling. Oh, wow. I can't imagine that you would get the money that they're worth at a flea market. they get good prices at the flea market? That kind of doesn't seem like the right place to be selling them. I have some for sale on my Etsy shop, which is priviesandprims.etsy.com. The first project, the strawberry shortcake. Yeah, they were very inexperienced. $5, wow. $5 for like a kit, or was it a finished project? I guess they used to have like little beginner kits at AC Moore. So I'm out of thread. And I always like the peek, so we're gonna look at the progress. There it is. Looks good, huh? Yeah, that was in 1979, a long time ago. I have a video on my YouTube channel about my workspace, and that's it. I sit here in this recliner and everything's around me. Like within arm's reach. And sometimes when you're going to do a double thread, you can look in the center and find the end really easy. But I know I'm going to be using a lot of this, so I'm not going to fuss over it. So I'm going to pull this ball out of the middle. There's just a clump. This is what I do. And then I snip this close there. Then I take the end from the ball and the end from this little knot part that I pulled out. Put these two together. Get some spit. And now I will thread them doubled. That's how I do it. If I can't find the end in the middle. So to thread it, in case somebody doesn't know, you have your punch needle tool. This is the threader. You put through it, comes out the other end. Take your thread, put it through there. Grab this, pull it through. And I didn't get my thread because I wasn't looking. I was looking at the camera. Start over. Pull it through, got your thread. Back in through the eye. The thread through the threader. And pull it through the eye. And you're threaded. Something that you want to do the least amount of time as possible. There wasn't any real patterns at that time. We made our hello, Stitching with the Sisterlies. Welcome. What is that armchair table? This is a little, if everything doesn't fall out, it's a clip-on. Let me see if I can hold it on my junk. It has clips. It's just plastic. And it comes over and clips onto your chair. And I got it on Amazon. I think it was like $12. I'll have to find a link for it. and put it on there. I was going to get the really nice wooden one, and I didn't like the color when it came, so I returned it, and I just bought the cheap plastic one. But it has a lip, you can see here. So, I mean, I think it shows it online. Like, you can put a drink on it, but I wouldn't. I have my drink over here. Because as I work, this tends to tilt a little bit, and then you just have to pull it back down again. So I wouldn't trust it for a drink. But it really comes in handy to put all your stuff on. And what I have is a piece of Warm and Natural quilt batting on it. And that kind of keeps everything from getting lost on it. All the little pieces of thread stick to it and stuff, so once in a while you have to clean it off, but it's just me here and I don't worry about that. So I just need it to function. It doesn't have to look so pretty. If you want a fancy one, I think that Not Forgotten Farm, her husband makes them. Yeah, Stitching with the Sisterlies. I'll show you what I'm working on. This is a tree skirt, and it's from Two Old Crows. It's going to be a mini tree skirt, and this is what it looks like. This is going to be a shop sample for the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, Arkansas. She sends me the supplies and I punch it and then send it back to her, and then she has somebody else do the finishing. I'm not really interested in doing the finishing. I just want to do the punching. Bye, Sean, if you're leaving. It's gorgeous. I heard you talking about it with Teresa today. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. It takes a while to do this one. Thanks for coming, Sean. And I was sitting here punching, and I thought that people might want to watch me punch under a woolly tree. Yeah, it really would. The green would match. It says on the pattern it can also be a candle mat. So the way I'm doing it is I'm leaving this part unpunched and this part unpunched, and then they'll cut and leave a 1/4 inch seam allowance that'll get folded back, and then it's laid on top of a piece of wool and then blanket stitched around the edge. But you could, for a candle mat, you could just leave, you could punch all of this and then just set the candle in the middle, and that would work. And if you just came in, this is such a big project. What I do is I block off sections and do sections at a time. It's actually getting done faster than I thought it would. I'm trying to figure out how to punch and not have my thread coming up. I think I come up too high. I'm gonna see if I can move this closer. Maybe I'm gonna go close up Wrong way. You can see when I do this. Putting shade on it. Can you see? I'm barely coming out. So again, I think it was Not Forgotten Farm. She said something. I think it was her I saw a long time ago. Whoops. That was a good idea. And she said, if you just rock your wrist, let me see, rock your wrist like this instead of picking it up. So you rock. And I'm not lifting my wrist off of the frame. If you just rock back and forth like that. I mean, you could, I guess, still come up too high, but it might help if you try it that way. But you just barely want to come out, just enough to slide it to the next punch. What you don't want to do is like this. See how that's all coming out? You see what happened? You can see that. So you don't want to just go up and come out and like that, because then it's a hot mess. And when you pull it out, just take your fingernail and rub it, and it fills the holes in. So you just barely come out. If you can take a class, I mean, it's really hard now with COVID, because I teach classes here in Pennsylvania, but I haven't done any classes since, I don't know, since before COVID. But if you can take a class in person with somebody, it helps a lot to actually watch them in person, and they can sit and watch you and see what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong. I've had people in the class, sometimes they'll say to me, I want to watch you punch, and then I'll get my sample out and I just punch for a couple minutes, and they said that that really helps to actually watch it be done instead of just talking about it. It's mesmerizing. That's what happened to me. Hot mess. Yeah. So another thing that I tell them in the class, let's just say like this is your pattern, you've got it all drawn out and you're ready to punch. I tell them to take a Sharpie. This is a thin Sharpie, but actually I'm not going to do it because it's not my fabric, but I'll show you what I would do. I would tell them to take a Sharpie out here outside of your design and do a curvy line, and then practice punching that before you actually go onto your pattern, because this is all getting cut away anyway, so it doesn't matter. So just draw yourself a curvy line there and practice punching on that, or draw a star or draw a heart or whatever you want to practice, instead of actually practicing on your design. If I missed anybody in the chat, I'm sorry. It's at a really weird angle, so that it's my phone and it's on the arm of my recliner. And it's a really weird angle so that you can see what I'm doing. So it's hard for me to see the chat. What's the smart idea? Did I have a smart idea? Also, if your stitches, let me see, how many threads do you use in the needle? This is number 12 Valdani, and I have it doubled. It's really important that this thread be free flowing. So if I was to have this like this, say over here on my right side, and my arm was laying on it, it can't pull, it can't go. Well, it can, but there now it can't. So it would be trying, I'd be punching and nothing would happen and it wouldn't make any stitches because my arm would be on the thread. So it can't pull it through the needle. It can't pull it through here if my hand is like laying on it, you know. So this has to always be free flowing. That's really important. Or your stitches won't hold, they'll come right out because it didn't make a loop. It wasn't able to. Oh, drawing is squiggly practice on it. Smart idea. Okay. Actually, what they told me when I was taught, instead of messing up your pattern, because this is all excess out here. All of this is excess. It gets cut off and thrown away or saved to stuff little pillow tucks or pin cushions or something. Whatever you do with it. But it's waste. It won't matter if you draw on it. If you poke holes in it, it doesn't matter. So it's a good place to practice. So you can start with a squiggly line, then draw a star or a heart or anything you want. So I try not to just go round and round and round and round and round. Sometimes I switch and go the opposite direction. And I will show you why. Let me get this piece of scrap paper. So if your stitches, your punches are like this, you don't get as good a coverage. They're not going to be this far apart, but if you can do it like that, and stagger them, you'll get better coverage. And when you go round and round and round, it tends to do this, unless you're purposely paying attention to it and make a couple shorter or something so that it messes up the line. So you get better coverage with that, which the best way I found to do that is just once in a while swap it out and go opposite direction. So even though I just went that way, then I'm going to turn around and go right back this way. So see how this is getting right here? It gets kind of bunched up. That could cause a knot inside your needle. When you're using multiple threads, kind of keep that nice and straight. got caught on this corner over here. You gotta always make sure it's free flowing. When I get into a little tiny spice like this and I don't want to do 2 rows, sometimes I go side to side like that. And then I can go out of it. So I'm going to finish up this little area and then I'm going to stop the video. I've been on for over an hour. I'm going to give my eyes a break. But if you like watching this, I can definitely do it again another time. So be sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to be in the giveaway. And comment of what you would like to win. I just got an alert on my battery, so yeah, this is a good time for me to stop right there. I take my scissors and I push down before I pull the needle out, and that keeps me from unthreading my needle. So when I'm going to stop, I pull this out to a good length, release the spring so the needle goes back in, and then I can just lay it down. So that's it. There's my progress. It's coming out pretty good. And thanks everybody for coming. And follow along. Make sure you hit the notification bell and click on all so you'll get an email notification the next time I post a video or I go live. So thanks everybody. Thank you for coming. Oh, you just got on, Phyllis. I'm actually getting off. My battery's going to die on my phone, and I've been on, let's see, an hour and 15 minutes. So you can watch the replay. It won't have a chat until probably tomorrow. The chat won't be on there, but you can watch the replay. So I'll see you all. Have a good night. Happy stitching, and don't forget to give your eyes a rest. That's what I'm going to do. You don't have to close them, but just the straining of doing the needlework can be hard on your eyes. So give them a break. Talk to y'all later. Bye.